Disney is desperate to win back audiences and fans to their beloved Star Wars franchise. Unfortunately, mistakes made by Lucasfilm and the current leadership over there, Kathleen Kennedy, has made that near impossible. So, Disney is implementing the desperate move to bring anime back to the Star Wars universe with a third season of Star Wars Visions. 'Cause I've been living life right like I could just die any minute. Going for a ride down the side. Hi everyone, my name is Jacob Berry. Welcome to the StudioJake vidcast where I talk about all things pop culture. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, and if you're watching on YouTube, ring that little bell so you get notifications when I post a new vidcast and consider becoming a channel member. I have often put season 1 of Star Wars Visions onto my list of things Disney has done right since they've grabbed the Star Wars galaxy far, far away. They have done good with productions like Rogue One, Andor, the first 2 seasons of The Mandalorian, the final season of Star Wars Clone Wars, and of course, Star Wars Visions Season 1. Now, I'm an anime fan. I'm an animation fan in general, but I do enjoy anime. It is primarily a Japanese style of animation, although I have seen other countries are starting to utilize that style. Chinese and South Korean animators are famously trying to duplicate that success, and now Star Wars is joining that. Disney is so desperate to get audiences back that they're using the Netflix strategy of attracting people through Japan and through anime. For instance, when Disney Plus was brought on the scene, it was all Disney stuff, right? And of course, the movie companies that they had acquired. Now, Disney has a stake in Hulu along with Comcast, although I have heard Comcast is starting to back off a little bit so they can focus on Peacock, which they own because they own NBC. Hulu has a lot of anime on it. A lot of it is in English dubbed. It is, just subbed, but they do have some dubs on there. I've watched several animes, including Fruits Baskets with my wife, my super cute wife. That was her favorite anime at one time. And so, yeah, they do have subs and dubs on Hulu. Well, Disney is starting to transplant some of those Hulu anime releases onto Disney Plus, and they made the bold decision to incorporate anime into the Star Wars universe through Star Wars Visions, at least the first season. The second season, I think there was one or two shorts that were anime, but they mainly utilized European and other Asian and even South American animation companies to make it. Now, nothing wrong with that, but Star Wars Visions was pitched specifically as an anime, but because they went to outside corporations outside of Japan, that made it not anime anymore. And of course, like I said, there's nothing wrong with that, but they should have used that for their, Tales of the Empire or Tales of the Jedi series instead of grafting it onto Visions. But they thought that the audience that had come to Star Wars Visions for the anime would stick with it. And by all accounts, it seems like they haven't. Haven't heard a lot of buzz about Star Wars Visions Season 2. I haven't even had the chance to watch it, at least as of the recording of this video. However, it seems that Disney is going to take a gamble once again on anime-specific content. This is according to Cinema Express. Disney and Lucasfilm have confirmed that the animated anthology series Star Wars Visions is set to return for a third season. The official announcement was made on the first day of Disney's 2-day content showcase event in Singapore. The upcoming season, which will premiere in 2025, will feature 9 new animated shorts from various anime studios based in Japan, including David Productions, Kamikaze Douga plus Anima, Kinema Citrus, Polygon Pictures, Production IG, Project Studio Q, Trigger, and Wit Studio. When it premiered in 2021, Star Wars Visions marked a daring creative move by Lucasfilm. This anthology series featured a collection of non-canon animated shorts, each brought to life by a different Japanese animation studio, showcasing diverse animation styles. The freedom from canonical constraint allowed for highly inventive takes on the Star Wars universe, earning widespread praise from both fans and critics. The second volume was released in May 2023 and featured episodes from various international studios, including Aardman from the UK, El Guiri from Spain, Cartoon Saloon from Ireland, and Punk Robot from Chile, among others. It was also received with critical success. Notice that they said critical success, not audience success. If you are into anime, you may have heard of some of these studios. David Production, of course, did Fire Force and Cells at Work. I've not seen Fire Force. It's just not one I'm interested in, but I did enjoy Cells at Work. It's kind of a workplace comedy, but based inside the human body, and it uses its storytelling to teach science, basically. Kamikaze Doga hasn't done a whole lot, but he has done work with Batman Ninja, which was really cool. I enjoyed that a great deal. I do wish they had done traditional anime instead of the CGI anime, but that's just a personal matter of taste. Kinema Citrus produced The Rising the Shield Hero, which had one of the best season ones of all time. Season 2 and season 3 aren't as good as the first season, but Kinema Citrus is very good at what they do, and they also produced the historical fiction romance My Happy Marriage, which is another one that my wife likes a great deal. Polygon Pictures is a little bit different because they don't do a whole lot of original content. They mainly do work on Western titles that they have acquired the license to, and this includes Transformers Prime, which is one of my favorite Transformers series, and Tron Legacy. Production IG did the teen romance anime, and they just released the final season of it, I believe, called From Me to You, and also one of my all-time favorite newer animes, Kaiju number 8, which is fantastic. I highly recommend it. Project Studio Q hasn't done a whole lot of their own stuff. They mainly provide sort of backup services to other anime production companies. They did this with the reboot of Evangelion and also Darling in the Franxx. Trigger is also one that has a very unique animation style. You might know them from the Netflix exclusive anime BNA Brand New Animal. And of course, they did Delicious in Dungeon, which is kind of a fantasy comedy series that's pretty funny. I recommend that one as well if you have Netflix. And last but certainly not least, we have Wit Studio. They're kind of famous for kicking anime off and then giving them to another production studio or working with another production studio, which is a shame because their animation is fantastic. They did the first 3 seasons of Attack on Titan, which were the peak animation for that series. They also did the first seasons of the Vinland Saga, which was, again, phenomenal. The animation to that first season was good. Second season was okay, but Wit Studios animation was just great. And then they did the first season of The Ancient Magus Bride, which went on to another studio, which pretty much just copied exactly what Wit Studio did. They didn't change the animation at all, so that one worked out. Vidcast hosts like myself, we often get accused of only talking about the things we're not excited for, or we talk negatively too much about certain properties. So let me say this. I am excited for a 3rd season of Star Wars Visions. Like I said, I wasn't that excited for season 2, but I loved season 1. I've praised it on multiple vidcasts and live streams. I also wrote a very good review of it for my website, StudioJakeMedia.com, but I am looking forward to a 3rd season of Star Wars Visions. Hopefully, Disney won't make the same mistake that Netflix and Crunchyroll is making with their localizers, where they put a bunch of modern day sort of anachronisms into it instead of just trying to maintain what makes it special, what makes the dialogue special. Hopefully they won't do what Netflix has done and tried to insert woke politics into it, like what they did with Comey Can't Communicate. Hopefully they will just allow the studios to do their thing and to do it well. I also think with so much criticism aimed at American localizers, especially ones that are woke or into identity politics, that's forcing anime companies either to start their own English translations and dubbing. I think that that will put pressure on Disney, Sony, who owns Crunchyroll, and Netflix to not do that. I've not heard that complaint about Sentai that I know of. It mainly seems to be aimed at those 3 companies specifically. Hopefully they'll learn their lesson, especially with us anime fans. And like I said, I was a Star Wars fan before I was an anime fan. I love Star Wars and I do want to see it redeemed. I just don't think it can be redeemed with Kathleen Kennedy in charge. That being said, I do think Star Wars Visions returning to its anime roots is a good idea. I hope I get a sequel to the Am and Rin story arc and that we can enjoy it and maybe experience Star Wars as it should be. Fun with a lot of Jedi and Sith action. That would be fantastic. If you liked that video, be sure to give it a like, share it out to all your friends, leave me a comment on what you think, and subscribe. If you're watching on YouTube, ring that little bell so you get notifications when I post a new vidcast, and consider becoming a channel member where I've got all kinds of cool perks. You can also support me on my locals community. The link is in the description of the video. You can send me tips, you can subscribe monthly, and support the content that I push out both here and on my website, studiojakemedia.com, where you can head over. There's no ads, and you can sign up to read my articles for free through your email. If you want to support me in a totally different way, check out my books. I've got the supernatural thriller Cacophony. I've got the Sword and Sorcery series, The Seven Royals, which include book one, All Good Thing, book two, Breaking the Stars, and my latest novella, Blessed Child, which is a fable about courage under fire. You can get one or all four. You can read them. If your kids are 12 and up, the whole family can read them. So check them out. Get one or all four. Leave me a 5-star review. It really helps out small indie creators like myself. Once again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time right here on Studio Jake.